A definite method for realization. We now see clearly enough that we live in the midst of an all-embracing mind which presses in upon us at every point in the unseen nature of intelligence, and everywhere manifests in the forms of loveliness and beauty, in the stupendous and awe-inspiring forces of the earthquake and the storm. For God is God of all, and nothing can go on in the great cosmic unfoldments apart from His will. He it was who set the universes afloat in the vast sea of space, and He it is who drives 300,000 suns through the measureless race courses of the universe. There could not be an objective world of stupendous and changing forces without the great cataclysms of nature. Yet man is to fear nothing in the midst of them, for he can mount on the wings of spiritual understanding. He can walk upon the waves of a changing world. He can pass unscathed through the torrent and the flame. He can escape from every peril through the mastership of his spirit. He can, if he will but choose. He must choose to depend upon the higher intuitions of his soul to guide his steps, and the genius of his own mind to select that good which he desires to manifest for him. We see, therefore, that it is of the utmost importance for us to understand that we live in a world of law, that substance is mind, and that the determining factor is choice. God's choices are the great cosmic ones. He does not interfere with ours. In other words, God sets in motion great laws by which the world and man is evolved. He makes a selection of definite lines of activity and then goes on unfolding along those lines to the ultimate conclusion. So regular is the operation of his mind in these great operations that we may well call it law and depend upon it that it cannot be broken. Jesus, the master teacher of the law of mind, said, "Not one jot nor one tittle shall be taken away from the law until all be fulfilled." In other words, the law is absolutely exact and can be depended upon to produce each thing after its kind of thought. The first step for us to take is to put the mind in an attitude of expectant faith. See the lesson, How to Use the Law, the Silence, in the Law of Mind in Action. We can make statements of our attitude, for they inspire our confidence. They hold the mind steady. They keep the image or idea clear. They assert our faith. As a man whistles to inspire his own cheer, so we say to ourselves, "Cheer up, it's all coming out all right." "Cheer up," said Jesus. "Thy faith hath saved thee. Go in peace." Statements of truth are always helping in inspiring our confidence and our expectancy, unless we turn them into magic formulas and phrases when they lose most of their power. Words are designed to produce a corresponding feeling on the inner plane. If they fail to do this, they have no value. Insofar as they succeed in doing this, however, they have creative value. It is because words almost invariably engender feeling that we are to guard against their idle use. The purpose of statements is to lead us into realization of the truth that is to make us free. We must rid the mind of any sense of struggle, for if we plant the seed, the soil will do all the work for us. The seed is the word, and the soil is creative mind. We cannot grow the flower. God blooms the rose. God giveth the increase. We must then realize that all conscious mental effort is not so much to be turned to the acquirement of things as to establish in ourselves a consciousness or mental attitude of expectancy. And no matter what process may be essential to reach this consciousness, still, in the end, this is something we cannot do without. For consciousness is the deep-seated perception of reality. In the end, there is but one thing to do: to believe that what we want will become manifest for us, and then to state definitely and positively what it is we want. Good exists in two forms: the good that lies within the bosom of the Father as an eternal possibility, but unmanifest and undifferentiated, and the good that we choose. Before we choose, it is a universal concept. After we choose, it is an individual concept and becomes an individual possession. The Word is made flesh and dwells among us only after we speak the Word. So the second step will be for us to declare what we want. This is our choice. For practical purposes, I have found it especially desirable in severe cases to establish the practice of lying down immediately after luncheon or dinner or both, and then to realize the truth. At this time, spirit in the form of food and drink and air begins to pass into physical form and energy. If one will be quiet and realize that spirit is thus passing into another manifestation, that being is becoming, and will thus impress this idea firmly upon his own consciousness, the physical body will respond to his mental equivalent, and health will be the result. In cases of so-called indigestion and those ailments which most readily reflect mental states, this method has secured especially quick results, for the stomach is a perfect mirror of the mind. Indigestion and colds, being due to chaotic thought and worry, are easily healed by the calm and poise of one who rests for a moment in the infinite realities of spirit. In quietness and confidence shall be my strength. My health cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee. The realization of spirit, myself as spirit, my body, my conditions, and my world, is the whole aim of metaphysical treatment. Let this once be accomplished, and man stands forth an immortal, glorified, and glorious God to his own world, at one with the infinite harmony. Life swells to its banks with the tides of a divine joy, and man rises to sit on the throne of his being. Being has in him become.